Good morning, everyone. Trisha Shaw here for the Goose Hill neighborhood, north side of Schenectady installment for my digital culture class for the YouTube videos. And where am I now? Now I am located on the corner of Avenue A and Mason Street. So, one block in this direction to my right is Mayor Ducci Plaza, which is just one block down from the last video on Avenue B in Eureka Heights, and that's heading down towards Van Rankin Avenue that direction, and then back towards Union College. I wanted to mention right off that, you know, I've been saying names like Breek and Holcombs, Seagulls, the Shaws, the Wedlakes. You know what? There's not an Italian in that bunch, is there? No. But this was known as being an Italian neighborhood. And don't get me wrong, there were plenty of Benequistos and Matarazzos and Poleccis and Pasanellis and Pisanos and Zulos and you name them. But oh, I forgot the Ottavianos. How could I forget Joya Ottaviano? Her friends would kill me. Yes, she lived on Avenue B as well. So there were plenty of Italians in this neighborhood, but it wasn't exclusively Italian, that is for sure. So why am I standing on this random corner? There is so much history here, it's unbelievable. First of all, I wanted to mention this pharmacy. It's so good to see somebody finally doing work in this house. This was the Avenue A Pharmacy. It shows up as early as the 1912 city maps. It closed sometime around 1985. I'm not exactly sure, but I have wonderful memories of this pharmacy running down here on Friday mornings and spending my entire allowance on lime popsicles, sitting on the front steps eating ice cream with Mark Wilson. And so I have wonderful memories, childhood memories, buying paper dolls and stickers and things from that pharmacy. This church right here, the Westminster Presbyterian Church, again shows up as early as the 1912 maps. According to Larry Hart, in 1922, there was a parsonage that was moved all the way up the hill to Randolph Road. I have not ever been able to figure out and locate that actual house because of the fact that the street numbers have changed and all the houses up there are nice, and I can't really pinpoint which one would have been considered a parsonage, where the minister would have lived for the Presbyterian Church. There was another house that was moved, and that one went to 1708 Lenox Road. And I actually know more about that thanks to Larry Hart. That house moved up the hill, very slowly creeping along. It took 3 weeks for them to move the house. The teamster for the job was Earl Simpson, and the family who lived in the house were Charlotte and George Lurs. I do not know if they had any children, but the funny thing is that they continued to live in the house while the house was being moved the couple of blocks up to Lenox Road. Now, why was the parsonage and this house moved? Again, according to Larry Hart, it was to make way for the Franklin School, to build the school. It was in those, right there on that corner there. You can just make out the school building up the street here, which according to Wikipedia was built in 1914, but that would not jive. Excuse me. According to Wikipedia, it was built in 1907, but that does not jive with Larry Hart's article about this area. So I need to do a little more research on that. But the school was operational until 1974. It served kids in this Goose Hill neighborhood who lived from Knott Street to Raymond Street, from Lenox Road, all the way down to the railroad tracks down by the river. So, there's another school similar in this neighborhood of a similar design. That is Yates School, which I'm not going to talk about at this time in these videos, but that took care of the other half of the kids in this neighborhood. There were two fires that I clearly remember that happened in the late 1970s. The Franklin School was turned over to apartments in 1986, somewhere in that vicinity, and my family actually was able to salvage a piece of blackboard, which has hung until fairly recently in our kitchen, in our home on Avenue B. So unfortunately, with the renovations we have done on the kitchen, I don't believe that the blackboard will be going back up, but we will not be getting rid of it. It will be stored in our basement if anyone for future use wants a piece of Franklin School history. So there you have it. That's all for now. Again, a lot of my research has been done with the Larry Hart columns at the Schenectady Historical Society, as well as the city maps and directories. Thank you. Catch you on the next one.